I'm Rachael Sloan, relationship coach and certified NLP practitioner, and today I want to talk about leaving a depressed partner. Because if you love someone with depression, I know the thought of leaving has crossed your mind, even if you shoved that thought down and pretended you never had it. How do you make that choice? Is it the right thing to do or not? I imagine a lot of you probably feel like this woman who recently shared a comment on Reddit. She said, "I feel so guilty for even thinking about leaving my partner." If that's where you are, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to share the 3 things that you need to know about leaving a depressed partner, and I'm going to give you a simple tool to help deal with that guilt and get rid of it. Look, I am not going to make this choice for you. The choice to leave or the choice to stay is yours. I'm not making it for you, but I'm going to help you get a clear head so that you can make a conscious, informed decision for yourself. To help you get there, there are these 3 things that you need to know about leaving a partner with depression. Before we jump in though, I'm going to hit the pause button because I want to talk about abuse for just a moment. Depression is not an excuse for abuse. In any relationship, abuse is always a clear sign to leave. If there's abuse in your relationship, then you are the one person that I feel comfortable making this choice for. The 3 concepts I'm about to describe to you are still really relevant for you. But if there is abuse, you need to leave first, get safe, and then do this work. Okay, we're going to unpause and move forward. The first thing you need to know about leaving a depressed partner is that whether you leave or stay, you still have to do the work on yourself. If you end up leaving your partner, you are going to have a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings about leaving, and you are going to have to do the work on those thoughts and feelings to be okay with leaving. If you choose to stay, you are going to have a lot of thoughts and feelings about living with someone with depression, and you are going to have to do the work on those thoughts and feelings to be comfortable staying. Either way, you have to do the work on yourself. There's no getting out of it. This is a simple truth of life that we all spend a lot of time trying to avoid. Think about it. When you're unhappy, what do? You get a new job. You move to a new city. You leave your partner. You transfer to a different school. We are constantly making these changes, these external changes in our lives to try to avoid the way we feel. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with buying a new car or moving to a new city or breaking up with somebody. But if you don't do the work on the thoughts and the feelings that made you unhappy in the old relationship, in the old city, in the old car, you're going to end up unhappy again, even in the new city with the new partner and the new car. So no matter which choice you make, whether you leave or whether you stay, you still have to do the work on yourself. I'm sorry, I wish there was a way around it. Maybe certain drugs get you there, but honestly, those don't stick very well and it doesn't last very long. So there's really no way to get out of doing the work on your own mind. The second thing you need to know about leaving a partner with depression is that you can love someone unconditionally and still choose to leave. You guys, this is crazy. It's like, I want it to be like a flashing news alert for everyone in the world to know, not just women who love depressed partners. He does not have to be toxic. He doesn't have to cheat on you. He doesn't have to be bad for you or be ruining your life. You can love him unconditionally and still choose to leave. Think about this. We don't only do this with our romantic partners. We do this with friends. We do this with family members. We drive ourselves mad trying to prove to ourselves that the other person is so toxic, is so impossible, is so crazy, is so difficult, is so unreasonable, just to justify our decision to leave them. But that is so much unnecessary drama, emotional drama that you're creating for yourself that you don't need. It doesn't have to be that complicated. You can love your partner and you can want a certain kind of life. And maybe your partner and that kind of life aren't compatible. That doesn't mean they're bad or you have to hate them to leave. Imagine, what if your partner decided to move to Antarctica for a 10-year research project? Would you go? What if he became obsessed with Ironman competitions and could not understand why you didn't want to work out with him 12 hours a day? You could love that person and choose a different life. They are not mutually exclusive. It's time to learn to separate the two things. Loving your partner is its own thing, and it's totally separate from whether or not you want to share a life with that person. The third thing that you need to know about leaving a depressed partner is that the only wrong choice you can make is to not make a choice at all. Because if you're trying to decide whether to leave or stay, I know you are waiting for some justification. You'd love a message from the universe, right? It's like, this is the right thing to do. Really sorry, but that message, it's not coming. Okay, I'm wrong. There actually is one message. If there's abuse in your relationship, this is your message from the universe. It's time to leave, get safe, then do this work on yourself. But for the rest of us, no message is coming. There is no absolute knowing what is the right thing. You can stay. You can leave. There is no right answer. There is no wrong answer. And either way, you have to do the work on your own thoughts. The only wrong choice that you can make is to not choose at all, to stay in limbo. That's where you are right now. Should I leave or should I not? Is it the right thing or is it wrong? How do you feel right now? I'm guessing you feel anxious, maybe afraid, maybe lonely, maybe guilty and ashamed, maybe even frustrated, maybe all of that. And when you're feeling those things, what do you do? How do you act? I'm sure you're spending countless hours online looking for advice, looking for evidence that you're making the right choice. You waffle back and forth. You imagine both scenarios. You probably, when you're imagining leaving your partner, you're probably really nice to him because you're feeling guilty about it. When you're imagining staying, you're probably really mean to him because you're finding all this evidence for how he's such a huge jerk and you should leave. No matter what, you're stressed out and you're miserable. That's where you end up when you're not making a choice. It's not good for you to stay there. You don't want to keep living in the guilt, the anxiety, the fear, and the frustration. But even though it's not a good place to be, it's really tempting to stay there. I know it is. And part of that is because staying there is one really effective way to avoid doing the work on your own thoughts and feelings, which you are going to have to do if you make a choice. So I know it's tempting to stay there, but I'm going to be real with you. You need to stop it. You need to stay or leave, but choose and start doing the work on your own thoughts and feelings. Don't let yourself stay in this self-indulgent indecision. It is not good for you. It is not good for your partner. It is not helping you move forward with your life. And if that sounds harsh and choosing feels really overwhelming, don't worry. I am going to give you a simple exercise that is going to help you feel more comfortable about making the choice to stay or to leave your depressed partner. Because all of these emotions you're experiencing right now can cloud your judgment. They make it really hard for you to clearly see your situation and make the choice that is right for you and for what you want in your life. We are going to clear up that cloudy judgment by shifting you out of guilt, out of anxiety, fear, and frustration. The way we're going to make that shift is by changing some neural pathways. Because right now, it's the ways in which you're thinking that are producing all of these negative emotions. Changing the emotions requires changing your thinking. This is a gradual process because you've been practicing your current thoughts for a long time. They have deeply ingrained neural pathways. We are going to start laying down some new neural pathways that will reduce this emotional drama and create freedom for you to make a clear, conscious choice. Making these new pathways is not difficult, but it takes practice and it takes time. All you have to do is pick a new thought that you can believe. That part's really important, and practice the heck out of that thought. Making sure it's a thought you can believe is really important because you won't make new neural pathways practicing a thought you don't believe. That's why positive affirmations don't work. Check out that video if you haven't watched it yet. Okay, I'm going to guide you through exactly how to do this, how to find a new thought, make sure you believe it, and practice the heck out of it. This is how we're going to get away from the guilt, away from the anxiety, into a place where you can make a choice whether or not to leave your depressed partner. Okay, here are the 3 concepts that we talked about today. The 3 things you need to know about leaving a depressed partner. I want you just to pick one. Which one do you think would be the most helpful for you right now? There is no wrong answer. You can't choose wrong. Just pick one. Okay, I'm going to walk you through this exercise using thought number 1. but you can do it with any of them. And over time, I would highly recommend you practice this with all 3 of those concepts. Here's the exercise. Close your eyes and look down into your body. I mean, really physically look down even though your eyes are closed. I want you to roll them down. And now I want you to think about deciding whether or not to leave your partner. Think to yourself, should I leave my partner or not? What do you feel in your body? Notice the sensations in your stomach, your chest, your throat, your head. Is there pressure, movement, a shape, lightness, darkness? Does the sensation have an outline that you can sense into? Once you're really aware of these physical sensations, I want you to try thinking a different thought. Think, either way, I have to do the work on myself. Do the sensations change? In what ways? If the physical sensations in your body shift in a positive way, you can stop here. That is your new thought. Practice it 20 times a day, more, repeat it, put it on a post-it note, set an alarm on your phone, treat it like a mantra. I'm guessing that most of you probably did not notice a change in your physical sensations. That's okay. That's just a sign that that's not a thought that you currently believe. So we're going to play with it. I want you to do the same exercise again. Close your eyes, look down into your body, think about deciding whether or not you should leave your partner. And then we're going to try these alternate thoughts. It is possible that I will have to do the work either way. I am willing to try to believe that either way I will have to do the work on myself. Go through this whole list of thoughts. Plug in other people. You can use me. You can say, Rachael discovered that she had to do the work either way, whether she left or not. Try out all of these thoughts with all these qualifiers. Keep experimenting until you notice a change in the physical sensations in your body. It won't be a huge change. You're not going to feel like getting up and dancing, but it should be a clearly positive change. You should feel slightly less bad. You might not even feel good yet. You're going for slightly less bad. Once you find the version of this thought that creates a small positive change in the physical sensations in your body, write it down. Now you have a simple assignment. Practice that thought as many times as you can possibly stand throughout the day. And make a plan. How are you going to know? How are you going to remember to practice this thought? If this feels too small, like a tiny little shift, like not that good, that's okay. That's actually how it's supposed to feel. Rewiring your brain, changing your neural pathways so that you can think and feel the way you want on purpose is a gradual process. You can't just jump from a totally negative thought to a beautiful positive affirmation overnight. It doesn't stick. You've spent a long time practicing the thoughts that create guilt and shame and anxiety. Cleaning up those emotions requires you to spend a little time practicing these gradual ladder thoughts that get you towards something a little more positive. Can you commit to practicing this one new thought for a whole week? Try it. If you're feeling really ambitious, come up with a thought for each of the 3 concepts I talked about in this video. Practice all 3 thoughts every day, many, many, many times a day for 1 week. When that week is up, take a quiet moment, sit down with your journal, and consider leaving your partner. How do you feel? What comes up for you now? Were you able to create a little space and a little clarity for yourself? That is the goal, and I want to know how it goes. Please tell me about your experience in the comments. But I am begging you, do not tell me that this does not work until you have tried it for at least 1 week. Okay, I will see you next Thursday, and in the meantime, do not forget to be kind to yourself. This work is a journey. It takes time and it takes patience. Be gentle with yourself, be gentle with your brain. You've got this.